We are here with Bobe Bome song, and this is another session of the Kom USA information session. I will have him introduce himself, and then we can continue.
All right. Greetings, everybody, and thank you, Bobela, for inviting me to this information session of Kom USA. I am Chindo Kom USA. I was born in Jinica. And for those who don't know what the title of Chindo means, Chindo is a member of the Kom traditional executive and regulatory institution, the Kwifon. In Kom, sometimes people refer to it as a secret society. And as in Chindo, who is part of the Kwifon institution, then Chindo serves as the guardian, the enforcer, or sometimes, for lack of a better word, the gendarme of the Kom founder. And so he's a law enforcement wing. He's part of the law enforcement wing of the Kom Kwifon. They help in maintaining order, they help in protecting the fund, and enforces the palace decisions. That is, in a nutshell, who a Chindo is, and my name is Chindo Wome Song.
Thank you for that brief introduction, Bobe Wome Song. So, would you say if we wanted to translate in a one word? Chindo would be like the guard, something like the royal guard.
Yes, the royal guard.
All right, thank you so much. So we are here to talk about Kom USA. And we know that Kom USA started a year ago, and you are one of the founders of Kom USA. You were present in the room when during the birthing process of Kom USA. So for everyone hearing about Kom USA and for the first time today, what is it and why does it exist?
Well, thank you. It's an important question. Kom USA was born about a year ago, and it was born in response to the cry of many Kom people in the American diaspora for a space where they could feel free to speak, a space where there was respect for one another, a space where there was accountability, a space where there was genuine commitment to Kom culture and respect for Kom culture. And it was in this context that some of us came together to provide that space by forming Kom USA that has gained popularity and has attracted a lot of, or so many Kom people in the United States to militate and associate with one another under this umbrella.
All right, thank you for that. So we would say this was like a safe space for other Kom people who did not feel included wherever they belong. Well, so as a follow-up question, so how is Kom USA different, and how does it complement any existing Kom organizations or associations back home or within the United States of America?
Well, Kom USA is different for the reasons that I just stated, right? Because it is a safe space. In a nutshell, it is a safe space compared to other organizations or compared to one of the major organizations that existed here in the United States before now. So it is safe for people to be able to express with their minds without fear of intimidation, where there is accountability, there's openness, and there's frank discussion. There is respect for even the little one. It is not a place for the most powerful. It's not a place for the most influential. It's not a place for charlatans. It's a place where there is some equality and equity as far as belonging is concerned in this organization. And so that is a major way how it is very much different. And in terms of its place in the United States, it welcomes every person, right? It's not restrictive. It is open to all people who want to be part of this organization. So it's quite welcoming. And at the core of it is to continue to carry on Kom culture, to continue to teach our children Kom culture, to continue to teach each other Kom culture, because you never learn enough. You can never learn enough, right? Kom culture, like all many cultures of Africa, is taught in the memory, and so sometimes that memory suffers from forgetfulness, right? Right. And so you may think that you know much, and your memory might fail you at one point, and somebody stands up and say, "Oh, my brother, this is how you forgot this part." And of course, we complement one another to be able to remember that culture, which is passed from one generation to another through the word of the mouth. So at the core of Kom USA is to continue to promote Kom culture, and then to support our community back home. Our community has gone through the worst of the worst, especially since the war that began in Cameroon, west of the Mongo, in 2016, 2017. And so it has been affected politically, socially, and economically. And for me and us, especially the socioeconomic impact on the people of Kom. So we focus on how we can support those who have been affected. We are here to focus also on how we can support our family, our palace, because our palace does not really have like a permanent source of revenue, right, in order to develop itself. And right. So if there's anything that we can do here, I think one of our primordial and one of the prominent objectives is to promote and uphold that palace, right? To be able to sustain itself, and then by sustaining itself, we will be able to carry on with the responsibilities entrusted to it to lead Kom people.
Thank you so much. So if we want to follow the line of the trying to improve Kom palace, make it self-sustaining, I have heard about other cultures, like if you are talking about Bafut, and if you go into the Bamum area, there are palaces that serve as touristic sites. So now what do you think the Kom people need to be doing in order to encourage that same level of tourism towards the Kom palace? Because I believe if we have tourists coming to the Kom palace, that opens up other business avenues for the local populace, so they can participate within that tourism economy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I agreed. Tourism is one of the key sectors of both local and national economies in Africa, and in Africa and the southern part, the global south. That's the word I was looking for. The global south.
Right.
And so for Kom in particular, One of the ways that we can do to promote that tourism is to be proud of who we are as Com people. One of the brothers sang this, sang a song, to be proud of who we are. Yeah,
Right.
because we cannot be other people, right? We should. What identifies you is who you are, right? So, what does it mean to be proud of who you are? To speak the Com language, right? To carry Com in you. I was in church with my kids this morning and my entire family. We dressed distinctively, and everybody was like, "Oh, this looks so good," right? That is
Right.
from there. The person that, where is this from? I say, "This is Com," and the person will find out from go to find out where is Com, and they will
Mm.
learn more about Com, right?
Right.
It will also be important for us for research to be done and published about Com people.
Mm.
Right, right. Especially, so I challenge the scholars and the researchers that focus on Com to, or even especially Com scholars, right? Because um, they say that if you don't write your own history, somebody will write it differently. So
Correct.
yeah, write your own history, write your own culture, report your story. And if you report your story and project it, it's going to attract what the media, especially in the world of social media today, attention will be drawn to Com, and in less than no time, people will continue to discover. I mean, as much is known about Com, but we don't think that is enough. If we give it much publicity, that
Right.
is needed. So if we continue to do that, we are going to appeal. There's been construction that is going on in the palace. You and myself have been part of that construction. Although maybe some people may think that they uh, some people lay claim to that palace
Right.
development than others, and that is fundamentally one of the problems that we have. And so all Com people, as I know, up to now, have contributed in the construction of that palace, giving
Right.
it a different touch, which can also be a source of uh, tourism for Com people and the palace in particular.
Right. So, in a nutshell, we can say every person lays equal claim to the
Yes,
palace of Com
exactly.
rather than
No,
a select few people.
select you, right? There is no person who is more Com than others. I've said that over and over. And there's no person who is more Com than the other. If you at one place hear somebody think that he's more Com, maybe because you are in Chindo, maybe you are more Com because you are wine top, then there's a problem right there.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, nobody can lay claim to Com more than any other person.
All right, thank you for that. Now, we're still following the along the lines of Com and the traditions of Com. We know that there's usually a healthy interest in people forgetting or conveniently forgetting their culture in favor of other cultures, either because they want to erase their identity or because they want to feel like they fit in more into the new found culture. So, what do you say to those people about uh, maintaining their culture?
My brother, it's a very important question, and for us to, and it speaks to one of the fundamental problems that affects not only that affects African people. Uh, Franz Fanon, one of my favorite scholars, has argued persuasively, and I agree with him, that one of the most enduring impacts of colonialism is the mind of the colonized, and
Right.
that is the problem. And he has written his book. That is book. If you read his book, Black Skin, White Mask. It speaks more to that, and you understand why he wrote it, because he was a psychiatrist. I think he was a psychiatrist, for none. And so, but that colonialism lasted in Africa for more than for almost 60 to 70 to 80 years. And after colonialism entered neocolonialism. And so we continue to live in the mindset of the colonized person. And by saying that, I mean that we have forgotten who we are, and we are trying to embrace who we are not, or
Right.
who have been told we are.
Right.
And that is really, really a problem. Chinua Achebe speaks to this when he says that the white man has come, has put a knife into our culture, and we have all fallen apart in his book entitled Things Fall Apart.
Right.
And so I think the solution to this begins with consciousness, to be conscious of who we are.
Right.
Steve Bantu Biko's book, in his book, Black Black Conscious. No, I write what I like.
Right.
Talks about there's a whole chapter or a couple of chapters on black consciousness, and he defines black consciousness as being proud of who you are, pride in yourself, pride in your own identity, pride in being black. And so we can speak of Kom consciousness here, being proud of being Kom, right?
Right.
Carry Kom as a badge of honor, not as what? A badge of shame. So
Correct.
if you do that, then you will do everything possible, as I said at the beginning, to promote Kom culture. Bantu Biko talks about that the most potent weapon in the hands of the most potent weapon in the hands of the colonized is the mind. Of the hands of the colonizer is the mind of the colonized, right? The mind of the colonized. Because you put a stamp there, it will be difficult for you. Just imagine yourself. The worst thing that you can do to somebody, Bobela, is to mess up with their mindset, right? You mess up with their mental, that is it. You would not be able, you don't know your left, you don't know your right, and then that kind of thing. And that is where we are. So it begins with consciousness. And that consciousness means that how do we get that consciousness? Associate with people that you think that are genuine, who care about Kom. Read about Kom as well, right? Yes. Identify with the Kom institutions. Go into some of these societies. Learn more about the people. Learn more about the rules of the palace and on all that. So that will be able to jumpstart that consciousness, and that will be the beginning of turning things around. But it's kind of really hard, you know. Yeah.
All right. So in the interest of time, I know we can spend the whole day. We can spend the whole day.
I'm going into all
just talking about the culture and all these other things. What colonization has done to culture, and how we more conveniently prefer to erase our culture in favor of another culture that we don't even fully embrace. So we find ourselves in between, not knowing which culture we belong, rather than just embracing the culture where we come from, and then adding in elements from different cultures that we see that can augment our culture or complement, rather than destroy it.
Yeah.
Now, so for elders watching this session, what would you want to say directly to them about their place and voice in this organization?
Thank you, Willa. It's a very important question. The elders are, for me, and not only for me, for Kom people, the custodians of Kom culture. And one of the aspects of Kom culture that I admire most is respect for elders, the place of elders in any society, in any community, in any space in which they are.
Right.
And so it's something that many of our elders, especially in this part of the world, are conscious of. Others are kind of conscious, but kind of shy away from, because that respect comes with responsibility, right? And that responsibility means that you have to speak up like an elder, because when you speak, people have to listen to you. People will listen.
Exactly.
right? You have to speak up. If things are going wrong, it is your responsibility to identify, my dear children, this thing you are doing like this may not affect us well, may not augur well with us, may affect us both here and at home and all that. And you also provide advice as to what can be done to correct that. So
Right.
their voice really, really matters. And I really pray and I'm appealing to them directly if they listen to me to not to shy away from this responsibility. Because when they continue to speak, those that are coming after them will follow those footsteps. But if we shy away from that responsibility, then the role of the elder will be dying. And when it dies, then that will affect uh, their role in our community in a way that will be difficult to read. So
Right.
first, let them participate, right? They need to participate in Kom USA because the only way for you to be able to raise their voice or speak up is if you are amongst us. So join the organization, participate, and then make sure that you continue to uphold the role of elders within our community.
All right. All right. So thank you. So in a nutshell, we want our elders to be present
Yes,
and act in the present. And there's a saying
present
that
and present and active.
exactly. Because there's a saying that respect is not demanded; it is earned.
It is earned,
And
right?
so you have to earn your respect within your community by being present and acting in the present,
Yeah.
rather than sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And because now we also elders are also supposed to be custodians of our tradition. So if they
Mm-hmm.
sit on the sidelines, they are also helping to erase that traditions and
Yes,
the culture.
cultural erasure will be part of the cultural erasure.
All right, so I think we are nearing the end of our information session, and uh, as a call to order, what would you say to everybody that is going to be present, or that are looking forward to the upcoming convention in Washington D.C.?
Okay, thank you. Very important question here. What I will say is that all roads lead to Maryland for our second cup come together. Our first come together that held last June was very successful, right? And it beat the imaginations of many people.
Right.
And so I am one of those who keeps my ear to the ground. And it is, by all indications, it looks like the upcoming come together will be even more successful than than the last one.
Yeah.
Uh, so there are a couple of things that we should look forward to. One, there is an inclusion of a cultural evening, which we're
Hmm.
not able to incorporate in our first come to, in our pioneer come together because
Right.
of the challenges that we had. So there is a cultural evening, and the kids have been talking about that and looking forward to experiencing the various facets of
Yeah.
Concord culture that evening. So we should look forward to that. Secondly, I hear that I have not even hearing the draft of the Constitution or the bylaws of Com USA are ready. I will be shared with the organization exactly a month before they come together, and for
Right.
everybody to be able to look through that draft. And please look through that draft so that you can make your own edits, you can make your own changes, you can make your own suggestions, so that when we get down to Maryland, we will have a quick conversation so that we can adopt the working document that will guide our organization going forward. Uh, uh, Thirdly, we our business meeting is usually a place where we discuss broadly some of the issues concerning our organization. So during that business meeting, which holds on Saturday morning of the last weekend of June, we should bring whatever you have. If there are issues that you identify, bring them to so that we can have a conversation just like we did in pre-colonial Africa under the Palava tree. The leaders come out, they sit under the tree, we chat, we talk,
Right.
then we arrive consensus and we move on. But and remember that the discussion is open. Nobody's intimidating anybody, like is the case in other organizations. Everybody is frank. We are respectful of one another, just like we did last year. So bring whatever you have, so that we can put on the table and then discuss it during our business meeting. We also need to raise funds. It's very important as part of the call to order. Um, the I want to thank again the leadership team that has done an outstanding work in laying the groundwork and building the structures for our coming to come together that will be in June, the last week of June. One of the things I've done is to try to get funds, but we are still running short. Please, if there's anything you can contribute, please chip in. Chip in. Even the widow's mite is going to go a long way to move us forward. And then during the come together itself, there is a fundraising evening, gala evening, where we're going to take a little bit of time there to raise funds to continue to support our organizations, lay a more solid foundation for our organization, so that will continue to grow from strength to strength.
All right, folks, you heard the man. All roads lead to DC in June, and you should come prepared to enjoy yourselves. And I think the last call was he wants everybody to chip in, contribute, because these events do not happen in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
They have to happen at a location, and these locations do cost something. And so, in order for the organization to run the convention appropriately, they need the right funds to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, Bobby, for coming to this evening for this important discussion. I really appreciate your presence here, and I'm glad we got to talk about a broad. We had to cover a few things about Come culture broadly, and then talk a little bit about Come USA.
Yeah.
I am
Thank you.
sure I'll be inviting you back for another session.
Well, thank you so much, Willa. I know I've worked with you over the years, and you are one of the few people that continue to hold and fly the flag of COM that we can trust. And I really appreciate that you are doing this. Uh, Anytime you need me, I'll be back here. I don't know where you want to go with this. Maybe you're going to get it into a podcast or something. I don't know. We always have something up your sleeves. So, 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 so I
Well, yeah,
appreciate that
maybe I could branch into a some kind of cultural podcast for just for
podcast.
Come, and maybe look at other
Is,
cultures and Come and other than Come. But I
other
think
kind, is,
if
is,
this is going into a podcast, I would rather just be talking about Come people, uh,
exactly. All
other
right.
other than any other people. But thank you so much, and
All right. Thank you, my dear brother. And we look forward to meeting again in Maryland. Before then, we'll chat as we usually chat,
of
checking,
course,
checking on each other's family and all that. Yeah. You take care.
you too. Thank you. Bye.